Wow. That was a really embarrassing story that you just told me. You should probably get that looked at by a doctor, like a flap. Like, I've never heard of it having a flap before. You should probably get that shit removed. Anyway, welcome to Goku or Go Home. My name is Alex. I'm the pinnacle of health who doesn't have that freaky flap thing I just got done talking about.
And I'm the one with the freaky flaps.
So welcome back to the show. We are doing Goku or Go Home episode 6, which is episodes 21 to 24 of the original Dragon Ball series. The show is a recap of the original Funimation dub. And for Phoup, it's his first time watching. And I just wanted to say this right here, right now, in case someone doesn't listen to the end grouping of notes. Next week, we will be taking another week off, so I can head to my family's place for Christmas. So
Yeah, it's gonna be the holidays here.
But we will be back in time for New Year's, I found. Like, I did the math. We'll be back for the 30th. So that'll be pretty alright. Let's kick it off with episode 21, which is Smells Like Trouble. And we get a quick little recap at the beginning of episode 21 about the tournament elimination rounds and how they were all set up. Nice little refresher. Goku and friends are all in the finals, leaving 5 more positions yet to be decided. And we get our first real shot of the tournament stage. It's a tiled square surrounded by stands of cheering fans. A lot of cool temple carving looking stuff. It's a pretty nice big stage, and the second that I saw it and they like rang the gong for it, the only thing I was thinking of was
My house.
No! I'm not that racist! No, in the Dragon Ball Budokai games, they would always have a tournament mode where you would fight through a tournament on the actual stage. And you could have up to like 30 competitors or whatever.
Budokai.
Yeah, it was like PlayStation 2.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. I've never played any of the Dragon Ball games before. Except for
We should
that
play some
2D
Dragon Ball
fighting
games. Fighters should.
I think so, yeah. I just saved some of their soundtracks from the video game because I thought they sounded sick.
I think I have a few saved to the computer as well. Goku and Krillin are looking for Master Roshi in the crowd, but there's just so many tall people, and they're so short. So Goku asks an old man for help, and we get this really good cut to him standing on this dude's head.
I when I first saw that, I think I kind of felt the next set of episodes I was gonna enjoy a lot. I didn't think too much, but I certainly did enjoy it. But this episode specifically, I was a little uncomfortable.
This one was pretty bad, but we'll get to it in just a second.
Yeah.
I made a note. Does Goku and Krillin seem shorter than usual in this episode, or are these people
They
just
do.
freakishly tall by Dragon Ball standards?
I felt like they got shorter or something. I don't know.
Because I measured it out. Like, Goku is standing on this dude's head, and this guy's head is like the same size as Goku's entire body from the neck down.
Yeah.
Like, he's huge in comparison. But he just looks like a regular dude. I don't know. Maybe he's another giant man. From on high, they can find their friends, and we cut to Bulma chewing out Master Roshi for being gone this whole time. And he claims that the bathroom line was a mile long. And I'm like, he's an old man. He probably can't, like, hold it for that long. Roshi thinks that they'll have more trouble in the finals before changing the subject and showing Bulma some stuff that he picked up at the souvenir stand. Like a new shirt and a souvenir keychain. And then says that he wants a favor. For being so nice, of course. And that's to have her change into the tight new shirt and show off her curves.
The shirt didn't even look that tight at all, though. It looked like it. I don't know.
Maybe it was a size too small or something. And like he had planned that out because that sexy saxophone picks up. And he starts cupping the air in front of his face again. And he's just like going nuts over her body. And he gets uppercut so hard, it sends him into the sky.
I can't stop comparing some of these moves the Tekken.
Of course, of course.
It was like a jet upper from Brian.
Where do you think? Listen, where do you think Brian got that move? From watching Dragon Ball.
What do you think Brian got from shooting kids?
Yeah, he got that.
Yeah.
I wrote down, Bulma should have entered the tournament. Oolong literally says the same thing after I said that.
Oolong always has like the best things to say. Everything that he said so far in like the set was pretty funny. And there's one down the road that I really liked.
Oh, I hope I have it written down. I'm generally pretty good at that.
Okay.
I always like seeing Goku and Oolong getting excited about the same thing because they always do this cute little thing where they hold each other's hands and sometimes they like do a little hop. So they grab each other by the hands. Oolong and Krillin, they both do it.
Okay.
They like hold each other's hands.
I don't remember him doing it. I don't remember Goku holding Oolong other than his Slim Jim. Maybe it's just not coming up.
Well, like I said, this is my third time through watching the series, so I'm still looking at things and being like, oh, that's a cute little character interaction. That's something I didn't pick up on before. Roshi gets back up and he's got this big old cross bandage on his beard. Like his beard got hurt.
That's just something they've always done in like cartoons, and it was always amazing. I think one of my personal favorites when it comes to bandages was like from Tom and Jerry, and they get bonked on the head, but they put like the cross bandages like on the tip of like the bruise, and the bruise is like 3 feet long,
like on the top of the lump or whatever.
Yeah.
It's only in the very tip top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disgusting. 8 finalists are called, so Goku and Krillin bust out of there. Around the same time, Master Roshi goes missing. What a coincidence. And here's where we start seeing the finalists. There's Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, and then there's this blue-green dinosaur man, a cool turban-wearing monk man, a lady with really fluffy purple hair, and an old man with Master Roshi's voice, but it clearly can't be Roshi because this old dude has hair and he doesn't wear sunglasses.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah?
So I questioned nothing in the show.
Yeah.
To the point where that disguise worked on me for this whole episode.
What do you mean disguise?
Oh, honestly, I don't know who that was.
Well, we learn later. His name is Jackie Chun.
When I heard that name, I don't know if it was because it was Japanese or they just didn't want to rip off Jackie Chan's name. Because I'm pretty sure like Japan has like different like endings for names or something like that. Like Kun or.
Well, that's one of the honorifics. Chun is just a name.
Okay. Because that's how I perceived it. That's how I perceived it for some reason.
Like if it was translated, it would be like Mr. Jackie. Something like that.
Yeah.
No, his name is
Literally
Mr. Chun, so it's Jackie Chun. Goku perks up because he smells something stanky, and it's the final fighter of the tournament, Bacterian, the same giant creepy guy who looked through the window at Bulma during the last episode, if you remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Goku's like a dog, so his sense of smell is pretty good, so he gets just hit real hard by that stank around him. He's not in an okay way.
So I tried imagining what this man smelled like, and there's two things that I've never smelled horrible, which was a container full of mold and this dude I stood next to at the line of Micro Center.
Is it bad that I know exactly how that second one smells?
and I combined the both, and I can just I went into like a phase of just seeing myself just velocity puking because because like the first time I got a whiff of that container full of mold, it was when we were moving out of this like apartment I was staying at for the summer of my buddy. And he accidentally got a whiff of it, so he was like, "Hey, bro, you got to take a whiff. It's only fair." So I ended up
the universal experience.
while we were cleaning up because we were moving out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the moment I smelled it, I puked into the sink that I just cleaned 5 minutes ago.
This dude's utterly disgusting. Like,
yeah, he has it on video too. If you ever want to see.
Oh, fantastic! I might actually have to see this.
But both of our reaction was pretty funny because his reaction when he sniffed it, he fell, like he slipped off. It knocked him off his feet.
Why is it that like when you have such powerful odors, reality turns into a cartoon world? You go stiff as a board, you fall backwards.
Look, this is my good friend, and this is the most I felt like he was treated unfairly in life.
He was dealt a bad hand.
But anyways, like that is how I compared. What was this giant's name again?
Bacterian.
Bacteria. This is how I imagine this dude smelling.
He was awful.
Yeah, just awful, just disgusting.
Yamcha explains that Bacterian has Herculean strength, second only to his utter stank. He's never washed himself since he was born, and he is disgusting.
Yeah.
He says anyone that fights him has to do so with one hand because the other is too busy holding their nose. And while he's just terrible to look at and terrible to be around, it must get results. Like, he's here. He's
doing it. Yeah, he's there. He's keeping up the goddamn smell. Just a little question.
Huh.
Did you notice his teeth?
They were yellow.
They were yellow, but I didn't really mind about that. But it was that he had like 4 teeth.
Yeah.
Right, and they were spaced.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I just had the urge. If that was me, just pull it out.
And like, you know how big he is too. Like, holding on to one of those, I imagine it's like the size of a small apple.
Oh,
you know, like you just grab onto that thing, and you just yank it out. You're holding onto it, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I just imagine it's kind of soft. Why is a tooth soft?
Man, I think tooth goes soft when it's infected.
I would not be surprised.
And then it turns all like mushy. Dude, the dragon dinosaur dude had pearly whites and he had more teeth. Yeah.
We gotta talk a lot more about Bacterians, so let's skip ahead.
Yeah.
After we meet Bacterian, we get our first shot of the World Tournament announcer, who is this blonde guy with cool shades. Another cool thing about him is he's also in the games, and he does the same thing that he does here. Like, he'll announce the games, and he'll be the one that goes like, "And fight!" and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or when the versus screen pops up, it'll go like, "Today's match is Vegeta versus Piccolo!" And it's the same guy, so it's a lot of fun seeing him throughout the franchise, I guess.
Okay, so he's pretty iconic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool.
He calls all the fighters to the front, but when Bacterian arrives, nobody can breathe, so he sends them to sit in the back. He's like, "Okay, you gotta leave." They start drawing lots to determine the fighting order, and this is where we get the name to the man in the turban, who is a super serious fighter, and my personal favorite in this tournament, Nam. And it's always good to be back in Nam. Nam is so fucking cool. Like, the first time you see him, he's meditating, he's got his hands together, he's looking very stoic, and you just know that he's an honorable dude. And he's got the bindi, that dot on his forehead, and he
Yeah.
wears the robes with the one shoulder exposed, and he literally looks like a Street Fighter character, like Dalsim
Yeah.
or Dalsim. It would not surprise me if Dalsim was inspired by Nam. Like, I looked it up, and there's nothing to say that it is, but like he came out first. Nam's really cool. Up next, they call the monster beast Giran, who is not the Dragon Ball Super character Jiren.
Wait, what?
There's a big alien-looking guy in Dragon Ball Super named Jiren, and everyone loves Jiren, and he's got a really iconic theme.
I just searched them up.
Jiren and Giran.
What's his theme like?
I'm sure you've seen it. They don't make Vines anymore. TikTok. I'm sure you've seen like a video where something crazy happens or some powerful looking guy appears and it goes like bum 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 bum.
Oh, I didn't know like Jiren's theme. I always thought that was the theme for just Ultra Instinct.
Is it?
I don't know.
I never watched it. It's used for both of them.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, the Ultra Instinct theme. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm just associating it with him.
Because because I use some social media here and there, and whenever I see like you said that kind of content, it's always Dragon Ball music.
Yeah.
People going off, doing something like inhuman. That inhuman.
Just like picking up 300-pound dudes over your head and throwing them. No big deal. Anyway, they are not the same character, even though it perked my ear up. I'm like, wait a minute, it says Jiren. No, Giran. Oh, they're two different characters. Gotta get that right in my brain. Giran just looks like an animal, but he's clearly more than that. But I still call him an animal man. Like, he's a dinosaur guy. Some big, burly, pterodactyl-looking dude, but is more human than the pterodactyl dude from the first episode.
Yeah.
Like, I for a split second, I was like, oh, is that him? Is that a relative? No, they don't look exactly alike.
This one is got a little bit more mass.
Oh, he's thick. Oh, he's thick. He's meaty. They call Krillin, and while he's digging through the box, the monk that's holding the box, assisting the announcer, is like, hey, can you read it?
Yeah, he's got a hello soft voice.
Sir? He pulls out a number 2, which puts him in the first fight with Bacterian, and he is not happy about it. And, like, we are just back to shitting on Krillin for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
God, Bacterian is just gross. He's pretty much only wearing brown underwear, and I don't like the implications of that.
Oh.
Ugh.
Crunchy.
The next fighter gives the announcer some pause, and he starts calling out for a Gawkea, and Yamcha has to tell him that it says Goku. So either the announcer can't read, or Goku can't write his own name.
Yeah, I had to pause. I had to think of how he got Goku with Gakea. Did he accidentally write the U as in like I and A? Like cursive?
I just think that Goku just doesn't know how to spell.
But he can. But there were people who can read but couldn't write.
Roshi was too focused on one aspect of his training.
It's just like my little brother. Put all of his stat points into math.
And none into charisma.
None in the English either.
Oh no.
But hey, he's gonna be skipping possibly 3 grades here.
Oh really?
Of math, that is.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Still can't write his own name, but you know, good for him for being good at math.
Oh, that's crazy. He's peaking already in academics that none of us would have at his age.
Hey, you know, he's got to make up for all the slack that you're given. I know you. You're no good at math.
I passed down my treasured Roblox account. I passed it down the next brother, and now it's Now he passed it on to the youngest one, and
It's a family heirloom now.
yeah, do not lose that account. Anyways,
do you know how much time I've put into Roblox? And you've locked us out of the account? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Just talking about how Goku couldn't write, but we know he can read, definitely.
He's definitely moving up in the world, but he still has some work to do.
Yeah. So after Yamcha corrects the announcer, right? Who did he end up? Yeah, he puts Goku up against the.
He gets to go up against Girin, yeah.
Yeah.
And Ranfan is the one that's drawn next. And she doesn't really get anything special as of right now. But I just want to point out that the last fighter is Jackie Chun. And when they said his name, Jackie Chun, for the first time, I had to see if that was some kind of like dub-ism that they threw in for Funimation. And I had to check. And Jackie Chun is his official Japanese name.
No way! Like it's on his license.
Like I looked it up in the Japanese version. They call him Jackie Chun.
Wow!
Incredible. I thought that it was something that was like you had said, like they had Kun or San, Sama, something Japanese that they didn't want to portray in the English dub, and so that they made up Jackie Chun, because at the time Jackie Chan was still...
That's a pretty popular name, yeah.
Yeah, like Jackie Chan Adventures was still on and everything, but no, that's just his official name.
That's really cool. Does Goku have a last name?
San Goku is like his full name.
Okay.
And I suppose it would be San Gohan. Like, San is his last name, S-O-N.
Okay.
But who calls him San Goku?
I think like those bodybuilders probably would. I had some buddies who were inspired.
Inspired by Dragon Ball to get fit.
Yeah, and I can see that because if they become like a... Just a little off note, I remember watching a video of this guy who was trying to be Trunks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he did his absolute best to try to become his ideal, like, character. He got the purple hair. He was hella jacked. And everyone was, like, really cool with him because he's pursuing happiness, you know? And he's not hurting anybody. Like, I thought there was going to be, like, this dude's, like, a hella big nerd. No, everyone was like really. Everyone was like supportive.
No, he's based.
What I saw, yeah.
You don't know. No, I always like hearing stuff about like, I was inspired by Dragon Ball to do this, and it made my life better for it. And it's like, yeah, good for you.
Yeah,
Dragon Ball's good. They explain the rules to the tournament again here. You lose if you get thrown out of the ring, stay down for a 10 count, or if you say that you give up. Poking in the eyes is an illegal move, and hitting in the private parts is not allowed. And immediately, Goku waltzes up and says, "What parts are private?" And I just like that this poor man has to explain to Goku, the parts that make us boys. But bro, that doesn't work on Goku. He's got to check.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't mind explaining that, to be honest.
Well, clearly,
in terms of education, I don't hold back.
Clearly, though, the announcer is the kind of guy that gets flustered by this sort of thing, because Ranfan follows up with, "What about my parts?" And it causes him to fall over.
Yeah.
He's like, "How about we just move on? Yeah, that's a good idea." Goku demands food before his fight, and they prepare him something to eat. And of course, he clears out the entire kitchen.
I love how they don't need to do this type of scene, but they do it. They could have just went straight towards the fight after that, but no, they had a little scene of him just going ham at the chef's food.
He said, "I will eat," and then he ate.
And Krillin was too nervous to go eat with him too.
Nope. He's still not confident.
He was like, I'm too nervous to swallow any food right now.
Hmm.
And that's true. I've heard about that before.
Well, the announcer was more concerned about him having cramps during the fight.
Yeah,
But we know Goku. He
yeah, that's
doesn't, but
true.
we do.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I don't remember if I brought this up before, but this is the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. And the tournament is held once every 5 years, so that means that the tournament has been going on for 105 years. That was this episode's version of Dragon Math.
Oh,
So this is a long-standing thing. It's not just like... It's over a century of tournaments.
man.
King of the Iron Fist.
Now, I was thinking, like, dang, what do I know close to 100 years? My grandma.
Well, she hasn't quite been around for 105, though, has she?
No, I think she needs 13 more years to go
Oh, okay.
if she wants to hit 105.
Well, tell her that she has to make it to 105 so we can have this joke mean something. The announcer starts selling the fights to the crowd, and you even get some versus screens for the matches, like Bacterian versus Krillin, Jackie Chun versus Yamcha.
Thought that was the coolest sequence.
Like, you get lightning between them all, and they're all different colors. It just looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the Goku versus Giran picture because Goku's picture looks like he's trying to pull up his pants.
Yeah. Was it like, I don't know why he was trying to pull up his pants. It looked like the pants the pants either got really big or something. Maybe he got finished eating.
I think what had happened was he had eaten a whole lot, so, he was feeling a little bloated, and, you undo your belt when you eat that much, and so he was trying to hold his pants back up while he's tying his belt again. With all these matchups as they were right now, like in this point in the story, who did you think was going to move forward? So, Bacterian versus Krillin, at that point in the story.
At this point, I had a lot of confidence that Krillin was going to win, but some of the things this caveman done, I thought this boy was gonna die. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lost either. Like, he should have died.
All right, so Bacterian versus Krillin started off confident, but he kind of wavered in the middle there. So, what about Jackie Chun versus Yamcha? How'd you feel about that matchup?
Oh yeah, I knew Yamcha was gonna lose it.
So that was 100% Jackie Chun all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the guy and you go, I got a good feeling about this Jackie Chun guy. I think he's pretty based. Then there's Ran Fan versus Nam. So that's two completely, not part of the gang or anything like that. So.
I knew Nam was gonna win 100% because they did not give Ran Fan any backstory to support her plot to win.
No, not yet.
At least from what I
has
saw.
nothing yet.
But I had a good feeling Nam was gonna win all the way.
So at
The
this
fight
point,
just took longer than I thought it was.
So at this point, you were thinking like, oh, Nam's gonna win this tournament.
Oh, not the tournament, the fight.
The fight. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Talk
then
about Goku. I'm just assume Goku is gonna win everything at some point. If he loses the battle, he'll just come back to win later.
Like at this point, you're just looking at Giran. He's got no character. He's just a monster, and you're like, yeah, he's big and he looks strong, but this is Goku we're talking about, and he's beaten up animal dudes before. Like,
yeah.
This ain't no thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also where we get the line that the winner of this year's tournament gets 500,000 zenny. Zenny is the currency of the Dragon Ball world. If you've played, I want to say Final Fantasy also uses... No, Final Fantasy uses Gil. Mega Man uses zenny. Okay.
Mega Man?
Mega Man, yes. Mega Man Legends uses zenny as your money. So I thought it was kind of funny to see Zenny again.
I debate if I ever want to play Mega Man or not.
Mega Man's generally, like, it wouldn't be around for as long as it is if it wasn't a good series.
Yeah.
The announcer invites the esteemed director of the tournament to the stage, and it's this old basset hound looking monk guy, and he looks old, tired, and dying, and he's great. The stage goes quiet for 15 straight seconds.
I knew what was going to happen too.
It's dead silent. You get all these different shots of the crowd, and it zooms in on the dog, and then he just barks. And the announcer goes, "Wow, isn't that profound?" And everyone in the stands falls over.
It gave off the same feeling. Are you familiar with a guy named Narwhal?
A guy named Narwhal. I must not be familiar with a guy named Narwhal.
He's a guy. Or, am I even saying his name right? Hold on. But are you familiar with obviously Travis Scott, who's been getting a lot of slack lately? But he had an interview with him. He was like, "So Travis, how do you keep your pants up during your concerts?" And he puts the mic in his face, and the camera gets like so close up to him, and he says nothing. He's just belt.
Belt.
And it just cuts off from there.
Okay, I have not seen that, but that does sound exactly how this is.
I think it would have been funny if they just kept zooming in on the dog just slowly from afar
For 15 straight seconds.
Yeah.
Listen, boss, we gotta cut corners. We've gone over budget for this episode. Zoom in on the dog for 15 seconds.
Oh man.
They call the fighters to the ring, and Goku tells Krillin to just keep punching. And Krillin's not so sure again. He walks off real slow, but in a way that wasn't animated very well. Like, they animated him leaving normally, and then had to remember, oh right, he's scared. So they just held on to each frame a really long time. It was just like... They cut some corners here and there. I see it. They introduce Bacterian as competing in soiled brown briefs, and I feel dirty looking at him. Bulma, Oolong, and Puar are on the edge of the ring, and they say, "Smells like we got here just in time." And Puar has one of the best lines I think she's ever had, and she says, "Smells like we should have been late."
It was good.
Right before the fight, the announcer gets in a good line, says, "Alright guys, let's try to keep it nice and clean." Alright, never mind, that's clearly not possible. Just try not to get any on the audience. Everyone gets banger dialogue in this episode. It's all good. They ring a bell and the battle starts. Krillin enters a fighting pose and Bacterian just stands there, visibly stinking. Audibly stinking.
The first scene of the fight is literally him sending his stank aura towards Krillin.
And it's going like...
And I was like, okay, they kept talking about how this guy was smelly. They kept talking about how he uses his smell to his advantage. But no, little did I know, he literally uses his stink to fight. Like, he sends the attack with the smell.
It's like his stand power.
I thought, like, he's actually, like, whipping it around.
Like,
I thought it was
you can
like,
grab onto it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like fighting Valhazak from Monster Hunter. Oh, man.
Aside from his stink, Bacterian is real slow. Like, he's real strong, but his strategy is pretty much just stand there and stink up the place while drooling like a moron.
Oh yeah, it's like a tank. You see Krillin, he like freezes up and he can't go nowhere, and he's like stunned from the smell, so he just has to slowly approaches him.
Yeah, he's still covering his face, but like he can't do anything. Bacterian unleashes his noxious breath attack, which
Disgusting.
completely effective and disgusting, and it makes Krillin dizzy, and this feels like a Pokemon fight. Like he's using some special move to invoke confusion.
I literally was thinking about Pokemon as well. I literally thought of Ghastly.
Oh, he's got a gas, all right. Bacterian starts digging in his crotch. He pulls out his briefs, digs his hand in there, and you just hear it go like, wow, 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 wow. And he's just got this.
I was like, I was like, he cannot be doing this right now, okay?
And he pulls up his hand. He's just got this handful of cock stank, and it just looks awful. Like it's this putrid gray-green stink coming off him.
I literally went back to the rules where it's like you cannot hit the private parts. I'm like, hey, he's touching his own private parts.
It's just, I think he might be the worst character in all of Dragon Ball. He legit sucks.
Like, look, he's pretty nasty, but I would say he's pretty unique. But I hope he doesn't come back.
I don't think he does, thankfully.
I think that move was one of the moves that, like, I don't know. There's other couple moves that just I thought that he should have died.
Yes,
Krillin should have died at least 3 times here, in my opinion. First one was was
this one?
The cock transfer touch.
My note on this move.
Or the indirect cock touch.
Have you seen G Gundam?
No, but I remember G Gundam is the one that you used to preach about, right?
Yes, it's definitely my favorite one.
With the finger.
Yes, and I have written down, that hand of his stinks with an awesome power. Its strong odor compels him to grasp victory, and he unleashes his signature move, Smelly Finger! And he touches Krillin.
Speaking about Dragon Ball with their perception on culture, I remember G Gundam had a little bit of that, right?
Oh yeah,
with Tequila Gundam.
Yeah. they're not perception, but like how they show other cultures.
Oh yeah.
Is.
But I still liked Tequila Gundam.
Oh, Tequila Gundam's awesome. He actually Hey, I found out about this. Tequila Gundam comes back in a new series. It's either Build Fighters or something.
Oh.
He comes back.
I'm familiar with this new series. I just didn't watch it.
No, I was shocked because one of my friends sent me a picture. It's like, hey, isn't this that one Gundam? And I'm like, it looks great, by the way.
Ah, man. What does this walking biochemical warfare do to Krillin after that touch?
Well, that touch is so powerful, Krillin goes down and they start counting. And that soft-spoken monk... the soft-spoken monk comes out, and it's just like, 1, 2, 3. And like compared to the announcer who's so loud and bombastic, but I didn't mark where they counted to. I was more taken aback by the fact that both of them are wearing gas masks. And I was like, oh, it's that bad. The crowd rallies behind Krillin to get up, which he does, but Bacterian just starts choking him out. And his head turns red and then blue, and they're like, wow, he looks like a cherry. Scratch that. He looks like a blueberry.
Now, let me ask you this. Did they break the fourth wall in this episode? Because I had a question that I actually never asked. Because after this, Goku gives Krillin so after he was turned into a blueberry, people were cheering him on. Goku was cheering him on. Krillin was able to break out of this this grass that was just choking, just strangling him.
Mm-hmm.
He like breaks both grabs from both sides of him. Then he does a flip on the chest and like punches him on the chin.
Mm-hmm.
Does like a cool backflip after that. And then Goku gives him an advice, and the advice is like, Krillin, you don't have a nose.
Well, not yet. Not yet.
Or something like that. Yeah.
That doesn't happen just yet.
Okay.
He does that cool combo, like you had said, and it really hasn't done a whole lot.
No, it's just
Bacterian.
to get out.
Yeah, it was just to get out. And Krillin gets backed into the corner of the ring, and while looking for an exit, he sees one between Bacterian's legs, and I was thinking, oh no, there's no way that this ends well.
How can I forget about this when I literally said he should have died 3 times?
He makes a dive between the legs, and Bacterian just sits on him repeatedly.
I actually do like Bacterian's like catchphrase, kind of.
Where he says like he's tricky.
He's like tricky.
Now I'm tricky. In an attempt to stop him from ground pounding him to death, Krillin flips over and holds up his butt. But you just know that with how gross Bacterian is, this is only going one way. And he claims that he has a tricky surprise for Krillin and starts clenching. And then farts.
That's where he should have died. But no, it's not.
He's not done.
He should have physically died there too.
The announcer says, "Oh, what cruelty! Bacterian has resorted to chemical warfare." And then he sits on Krillin's face and starts rubbing his ass into it.
Oh, just backing him up, just left to right, like. And that is what I thought. Like he should have just socially, just mentally died there too. I would have done. I would have tapped.
I wouldn't. I would have just given up. Like I wouldn't have even started the fight. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing this with him. He keeps stomping Krillin over and over again, and Krillin's twitching and foaming at the mouth by this point. And like, even me, who was all for like having Krillin get his, he doesn't deserve this. He's grown since we first met him, and I don't want to see him like this.
Yeah, like this is like there's bad guy, and then there's bad guy.
Then there's Bacterian.
Yeah.
Bacterian raises his hands to the sky to declare, yes, his signature catchphrase, "I am tricky," which is dumb and good. They start counting up again, and this is where Goku calls out to Krillin with possibly the smartest thing Goku has ever said, pointing out something that I have not called out since we started. And he says, "Focus your mind and you won't smell him. You don't have a nose, remember?" And he's right.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed since the beginning. But I thought that was just a character choice, so because I don't know.
Like an art style thing.
Yeah, I thought it was an art style thing. I didn't think they just literally didn't give him a nose.
No, he just doesn't have a fucking nose. And he kips up off the ground. He's like, "Yeah, I can't smell shit. Thanks, Goku."
And the thing is, I was so blown away that I didn't know I don't know if Goku was being like sarcastic. I don't know if Krillin was being sarcastic. I don't know if he did have a nose, but they just didn't draw it because that's his character design.
I was always under the assumption of like, oh, we just, to make him look a certain way, maybe he's got like a real flat nose or something that you just don't see.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he just doesn't have one. I
guess I don't know. I guess the not having, since he's bald, I guess, and him not having a nose just really emphasizes his round monk head, I guess.
yeah, it's a good look. I still like it. It's just whatever. Bacterian says, "Okay, stinky, not enough for you," and he charges up his ultimate move, the deep-throated, mucus-filled loogie of death, a move that no opponent has withstood.
Not once have I ever heard the two words deep and throated ever in a cartoon show.
There's a lot of things that I don't think I ever would have heard or want to hear in a children's cartoon in this episode. This is a move that Krillin can dodge, and he kicks Bacterian in the face, and while he's on the ground, farts in Bacterian's face in retaliation, and wins.
Oh, man.
They say that he won from behind with a knockout, which is an excellent play on words. Everyone just starts cheering.
Yeah, no one liked that guy in this episode.
Yeah. And it was just like, everyone's cheering, and the narrator says, I guess it's true what they say. Doesn't matter how stinky you are, you can't handle someone else's smell. And,
Alex, you gotta remind me, did you ever catch a bear watching these set of episodes?
in the crowd, there are a few times.
There was one bear that had a remark, and I laughed really hard.
Yeah.
I forgot what he said.
I wrote that down.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure, because I don't remember what episode he's in.
I want to say he's in the last one.
Okay, it was so quick. It was so funny. It was like that one scene with the old guy who's like, I can't believe I'm scared of pig.
You know what? It is exactly like that guy.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that you wrote it down for me. Completely forgot where he was in the episode.
Mm-hmm. As everyone cheers and the narrator sends us out of the episode, they show all the monks desperately trying to clean the arena.
Oh man, they were scrubbing. There was one in the front of the cam just spraying 2 cans of air fresheners.
And they all had the masks on and everything.
Oh, I think they had the full bodysuit, the whole hazard suits.
It's like that Monsters Inc., the 2319, the yellow guys. Exactly. This leads us into episode 22, The Quarterfinals Begin. And that picks up right where they left off. And the crowd's still going nuts for Krillin. And the boys want to know to see if Roshi saw the fight, but they can't find him in the crowd. But at least they know that he's nearby. It's good to know that Roshi's distinct smell of turtle and sweat is coming back into play, because Goku can still smell him. He's like, oh, no, he's nearby. I can smell him. Yeah, he must have seen the fight, for sure. And we cut backstage, and we see that sly dog, Jackie Chun, checking out Ran Fan. And wouldn't you know it, he's got this great prospector laugh whenever he sees a babe. He's pretty cool. You know, he sees a hot girl, and he starts going, oh, yeah. Which is crazy because, you know, that's such a unique character trait. He sees Ran Fan.
Mm-hmm.
He asks why she's putting on lipstick before the fight, and she says it's for guys like him. But she's clearly more interested in Nam, who's busy being deep in thought as he meditates.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie Chun comes up to him, and like the ultimate wingman, he's like, I think she likes you, kid. But he's just too busy meditating to pay him any mind. And this
he's trying to keep a peaceful mind.
Keep the focus.
But, yeah.
This is the first time that we hear his voice. And unfortunately, since this character wears a turban, you know he's going to have that accent that I keep bringing up. Also, I looked it up. He's had pretty much only one actor over the years. And let me tell you, he's a white guy. But, if we were only going to have one character in Dragon Ball with a voice like this, I'd be alright with Nam having it, just because Nam is that cool. You start to go in as he talks to himself, and how he hasn't forgotten his brothers and sisters back home, and we get this flashback to his village. It's in the desert, and the heat is coming down, the wells dried up, and people are dying of hunger and thirst. The rainy season is going to come in 2 months, but they won't survive that long without water from the city. But they don't have the money for the water from the city, so he vows to enter the tournament to win the money and save his family. And goddamn, that is good character motivation for Nam.
Yeah.
Like, the second that we saw him, I was like, I want him to win. Who cares about literally any of our characters? Nam needs this.
Yeah, he really does. I think Roshi, if he's somewhere in the crowd, is after the same thing as Jackie Chun.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think they've already kind of don't need to win the tournament. I think they got a different fight going on later.
Mm-hmm. Jackie Chun gets the same vibes as I have about Nam, and he goes, this man has spirit. And the next fight up is Jackie Chun against Yamcha. And you just know that no matter how hard Yamcha trained, it was all wild and unrefined. So if he's going up against a seasoned fighter like, Jackie Chun, it's probably not going to go well.
No. To be honest, yeah, I'm sorry, Yamcha. You had no chance.
It was a bad draw. I'm sure he would have been able to beat someone like Giren or Ranfan. Maybe not, because he's
maybe not.
We don't know if he's got that fear of women, but
yeah, Bulma could just be like situational type of case.
Maybe
case by case, maybe when it comes to women.
We do another cut back to the rest area for the fighters, and Giren is eating a ton of meat off the bone, while based Nam continues to meditate. He throws a bone with a good deal of meat on the floor, which catches his attention, and he remarks, "He's so wasteful." And I feel for him. His family's starving. This dude's just throwing food on the floor? What a jackass!
Yeah, no.
Of course, Goku sees food, and he rushes in to start stuffing his face. And
I'm surprised. Yeah, Goku runs over to where the food is, where it's the same plate that Giren is eating out of, and it's like a bunch of giant turkey legs, let's say.
This is like meat off the bone. It looks good.
And Giren is taking a bite out of these turkey legs. He's munching on the bones. He's eating the meat. Goku's ripping him off. They're looking really tender. But I'm surprised that Giren is sharing the food. I didn't realize he was willing to share.
Well, I think the whole reason why is I think Giren sees this as a competition, because the second that Goku starts eating,
he starts speeding up.
Yeah, he starts speeding up I can eat more than you.
Yeah, so he's either trying to eat more before it's gone, or he's just trying to prove a point.
I think he's trying to put him in his place. He's like, oh, you can't eat a whole lot. Look at me. I'm eating all this. As this is going on, there's another flashback to Nam's family, who have gathered up literally everything that they own for him to sell to pay for his trip. Nam has no choice but to win, because otherwise his family will have nothing left, and they will all die. I don't know what you need me to say. I think Nam should win, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's clear that Nam does not have money for food, however, so Goku offers him a big old plate of meat, which Giren does not like, and he starts smashing things up, which really bugs Nam, because he's based and hates seeing food being wasted. Before they come to blows, the next fight starts, and Bulma wonders who this Jackie Chun guy is, wondering if he's a good looker. And Oolong's just like, what the fuck, isn't Yamcha your boyfriend? And she says, well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I can't keep my eyes out for an upgrade. Jesus Christ, Bulma!
I thought she was good. I guess not. Damn.
You went on this journey for a year to get a boyfriend, and I was like, I could do better than Yamcha, I think. The fuck is wrong with you? They introduced Jackie Chun to the stage, and he's like, peace out, dudes! And people are wondering if he came from some deserted island. Maybe. Who knows? Who can say? Who can say where Jackie Chun came from? Parts unknown. Bulma calls him a crusty old geezer, which is fantastic. Yamcha has not heard of any fighter named Jackie Chun before, and when the fight starts, he doesn't even have a fighting stance. So there's a lot of good internal reads by Yamcha. He's showing that he's much smarter than someone like Goku when it comes to a fight, like he's planning everything out. As he starts attacking, Jackie just dodges it, but you can tell that Yamcha's far stronger than before. Like, all of his attacks have this cool, glowing, claw-like property to him. Like, as he swipes, it's just like this white glow of a shing!
Yeah. No, it was I'm sorry, Yamcha, but I knew you were never gonna land a hit, really.
Jackie Chun says that his moves are cool and fun to look at, but they waste energy, which kind of gets under Yamcha's skin.
Mm-hmm.
But he really should listen to what Jackie has to say. He clearly knows his stuff. And this is where Yamcha busts out his new and improved Wolf Fang Fist. And you get this cool, glowing red energy wolf behind him as he rushes forward. It's just a really cool, like, visual to it. And this is where Jackie Chun activates. He just turns on, and he starts springing off the walls with some high-energy antics.
You know that aura with the wolf? I thought they were just going to reuse the wolf that he fought from the previous fight.
We're starting to get some more exciting moves as the series goes on. Jackie Chun busts out this dope energy chop that makes a refreshing winter breeze rush through and blows Yamcha right out of the ring like it's no big deal.
I really liked that fluid movement that he did too while he did it.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like he, like, how do I explain this? It's like you're scooping the air.
Yeah, it literally looks like it was flowing and he just sliced the air.
Yeah.
And it just like swoosh. And he just gets slammed out of the ring, hits the walls, hits the floor. He complains that he couldn't even see the move, and Jackie Chun explains that it was energy from within, and that he could show him how to do it someday. Yamcha's about to say that he knows Jackie from somewhere, but they're interrupted by the next match. And Jackie excuses himself to go look at Ranfan, and says, "Excuse me, Ranfan, did you see me win? I was very studly." Which is a fantastic way to prop yourself up to girls. Like, I'm sure, 100%, that line pulls every single time. I was very studly. Yamcha probes Goku about Master Roshi a little bit while looking at the completely original character of Jackie Chun, thinking that something is fishy, but honestly, I have no idea what he's talking about. Like, for real. I think that he's a conspiracy theorist. He has one of the best lines in all of Dragon Ball, though. "Something's fishy going on here. Man, I wish I was smarter."
I know. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to say that because it's ironic too. Because he's like, poor Yamcha. Because he get it, but he has no evidence. But he also doesn't have the confidence in himself either.
Jackie Chun notices that Nam is super serious about his fight, and he's not like the other fighters. And he just reads Nam's mind. That's a thing that he can do? Like, he just kind of goes, eh. And then, like, he has this energy link to his head.
I was thinking, like, they were connecting auras or something.
Maybe he just understands the severity of the seriousness must mean that he's fighting for something much more important than money.
Possibly. I'm not too sure how I would be able to explain it.
I just like to think that Jackie Chun can read minds. At this point, Yamcha's got it all figured out. Master Roshi and Jackie Chun are related.
Okay, that one, dude. I'm so tired. Not tired, but like, there's so many curveballs that they throw at me at the show that I wouldn't even be surprised. It's like Patrick Notstar from SpongeBob.
I know what you're feeling. And is it just like, is it slight exhaustion? You're like, oh wow, they keep throwing these curveballs at me. I don't know
tired.
how many more of these I can take.
I can't. I keep getting them wrong.
The next fight starts, and immediately Ranfan distracts Nam with her flirtatious attitude before delivering a series of heavy blows. But right before he's about to counter, she screams and stops the momentum of his attack to a gentle tap. And then she collapses to the ground and pretends that it hurts.
You should have full sent it.
Oh, he should have. He should have. In the wrestling business, we call this selling. It's to make a move look real and painful to the audience.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people that sell well, making you think that you you really hit them, and that's why wrestling can be considered like a stage production. Because if you make it look good, then people don't even know that you don't really want to hurt people. And there are people who cannot sell well, like Ranfan, who's clearly overacting.
You know what my favorite selling move was? Who was that wrestler that did the camel clutch and humbled the guy?
The camel clutch?
Yeah.
The cobra clutch?
No, camel clutch.
The camel clutch. Now you're making me look something up.
So basically, you mount them on their back, right?
Oh, the Iron Sheik's move.
Is it that one? But I gotta remember the guy though.
Iron Sheik makes Hulk Hogan humble.
Yeah.
I was.
Are you watching it?
Yeah, I'm looking at him now.
Do you see what's going on during the camel clutch?
Shaking his head.
So just a little bit off topic here real quick. You and my cousin Tommy are the people who keep me really updated when it comes to wrestling. Like up to date and the history and just how wrestling works. So if you ever hear us use the term humble, we're referring to this type of humbling. So if someone's acting up, one of us is gonna be like, Tommy, you better go humble that guy. And Tommy is like 5 feet tall. It's like 100 pounds. Like, go camel clutch and humble him, Tommy.
The Iron Sheik would be proud.
So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ranfan is terrible at selling, but that's part of her ploy. Because it turns the audience against Nam. They're like, oh, what the fuck, man? Don't you know how to treat a lady? Like, even Jackie Chun's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he lowers his defenses to apologize, and he gets a supercharged punch to the gut for his troubles. Like, what the fuck, man? That's a cheap shot.
Yeah.
Before she can land another hit on him, he blocks and goes like, I was warned about you hoes trying to trick me. And he goes into this super serious, like, I'm sick of these hoes mode.
It was a really cool moment for Nan because it shows his determination.
Yeah. Like, she was like full punching him, and then he just kind of grabs onto her fist and is like, fuck you hoes.
I really do like seeing some of the moves that Ranflan has. They're just simple moves, but she's like the first person to see doing this many roundhouse kicks. And the head as well, to the head.
But at this point, he's super serious mode. Ranfan's attacks ain't got shit on Nam. He's just blocking him barehanded, and he's clearly the superior fighter. She pulls out every trick she can, however, and starts stripping in the arena, causing Jackie Chun to go fucking nuts. And Nam has to look away with a big old blush because, he's an honorable guy. He's like, you can't look at this. She's undressing. Yamcha hears Jackie laugh and claims that he'd recognize that vulgar laughter anywhere and comes up with this ridiculous conspiracy that Master Roshi somehow is Jackie Chun, which of course is utter nonsense. Jackie has hair, Yamcha. Master Roshi is bald.
Oh my god.
You fucking dumbass. Nam keeps backing away from Ranfan until he hits the edge of the ring, because it would be rude to touch her in this state of undress. And he's just a good guy. What a nice guy, this Nam fella. He gets a few flashes of his family, reminding him why he's fighting and doing what he's doing. And then he gets the idea to fight blind by closing his eyes and using his other senses. And he does like a jump with a single chop to the back of the neck. Nam knocks out Ranfan for the full 10 count and is declared the winner. But Ranfan doesn't get back up. And Jackie Chun runs onto the stage and he's like, I gotta check her heartbeat by placing his hand on her ass.
So it did happen. It did. I was doing a little bit of homework while I was watching this episode too. And in the corner of my eye after that fight scene, I was like, all right, fight's over. Let me go look at this document real quick. I see a little shadow run onto the stage. And I'm like, that couldn't have happened, right? I didn't know he grabbed her ass. I just like, all right, whatever happens, happens. I'll just move along with the episode.
Jackie Chun's he runs up there, gets a handful of that cheek on there, and he is shooed off by the announcer. Honestly, though, like for real, I don't see how Yamcha could even think that this guy's our Roshi. Like, Master Roshi would never be able to do that. With the third match out of the way, the next episode brings the end of the quarterfinals, Goku versus Giran. And this is the episode that I saw last before getting the idea to do our show. So from this point on, it's all stuff that I don't remember as well, since it's been longer since I've seen it. And I am super excited to keep going. Like, I watched it, and literally the whole reason why this show exists is because Nam is so cool. I was like, nobody knows who Nam is. Someone, like, I need to talk about Nam for a second.
Okay.
And I patiently have waited to this moment to get to this point and go like, so Phoup, what do you think of Nam?
I really like Nam. He's really cool.
This is Nam's episode.
Yeah. I think if he wins the tournament, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He deserves nice things.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to episode 23, the monster beast Giran. Clouds gather over the arena as the next fight gets announced. And when Giran comes on stage, Oolong goes, "Oh, it's just a monster. Here I was worried about Goku for a sec." He knows the game. Goku fights these dudes for breakfast. Really not selling the idea that Giran's much to write home about, though, right out of the gate. But the episode was still early. I had forgotten completely about this fight, so I said, let's just see what happens. Giran walks out with this stupid-looking strut that looks great. Like, it reminded me of Talking Heads, Same As It Ever Was.
That's what it reminded me.
Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down.
like Giran is like reminding me of so many different characters. It reminded me of that. It reminded me of the alligator.
Really?
Like Donkey Kong's arch nemesis.
King K. Rool.
King K. Rool. That tummy.
He's got that thickness. Goku comes out shortly after, talking to the whole crowd like, "Hey, it's me, Goku!" And Bulma's the best. "Goku, we all know who you are." Like, everyone likes Goku.
Yeah, I kind of like the relationship they have now, where it's kind of silly. Mm-hmm. Where I feel like those kind of responses you get from Bulma with Goku is the type of like, I think I had like a student teacher back in elementary school that like treated me like that. Mm-hmm. Because every time I did something stupid, she'd be like, "No, you idiot."
And then, you go back and you see one of your old teachers from like elementary school or whatever, and then they slap you upside the head and you say, "You fucking idiot! You were dumb then, you're dumb now." Right as the next match starts, it starts raining, and I like this smash cut that they have of the crowd being excited and having a good time, and there's like this boing sound, and then everyone's soaking wet. There's a few shots of people freaking out and running around in a panic, but in that shot, I saw a giraffe and a dinosaur trying to find shelter, and that's all I cared about.
It's always scenes like those that are always the best in the beginning.
Anytime there's a crowd shot, you can look around and be like, "Oh, is there an animal in there? Is there a dinosaur?" Yes. In this instance, yes, there was. Goku and Giran face off in the rain as the announcer says that their match has been postponed due to the weather, but neither of them seem to be listening. They're just like staring each other down, which is a funny bit because they're like, guys, please, get off the stage." And here we get our new intro, where they draw a symbol with each stroke being like this drum beat, and then a circle comes in with a cool synth rise, like it's the THX logo before a movie. You remember that one? Or it goes,
I think I do.
It's really loud.
Oh, okay. I don't know if the mic cut out because you probably got too loud.
Probably.
But the moment I realized that it got too loud for the mic to not pick it up, I knew what it was.
Oh, the really loud one. Yeah. But yeah, it plays that before going into mystical adventure. Like, that's what it leads up into. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good intro. I think it's very, like...
I like that. Change of pace.
Yeah, it also signifies, like, we are in the tournament. We are in the thick of it now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I did not know how Giran was spelled up until this point, because the Monster Beast Giran is the title. And I had to go back through my notes and fix all of them because I was spelling it wrong.
How'd you spell it?
I did Giren, Giren, but it's Giran, Giran.
Oh, okay.
Or Giran. When we cut back, we find that they actually did postpone the match, and everyone's hanging out in a bar where this dude in a silk Chinese outfit is just playing, like, a saloon piano. And he's got this nice long pipe, and I don't know why, but he just stood out to me. Yamcha warns Goku that Giran will probably try to cheat somehow, but they just don't know how yet.
Now, this is where I was doing a lot of predictions of how he cheats.
Oh, yeah?
He was either going to poke his eyes, go for the crotch, or pull out a gun.
I would love Giran to just, like, I've got you now, and sneakily pull out a gun and try to, like, get him.
Because
even though all three of these things would have disqualified him for various reasons. One, poking in the eyes is just out of the rules, so you get disqualified. Hitting in the crotch also. And third one is, one, he pulls in a tool or a weapon, which is against the rules, and two, he would have killed his opponent. Or attempted.
Yeah, and yeah, they were all stuff for disqualification, so that's how I was predicting it.
Okay. While the gang is eating together, they realize that Master Roshi isn't eating with them, and one of them even mistakes Jackie Chun for him, and Yamcha keeps internally spouting that crazy nonsense about them being the same person. I honestly don't see how he thinks this way. Master Roshi wears sunglasses. Get with the program, Yamcha.
Look. I once mistook a Mexican dad for my dad at Walmart as a kid, okay?
You know what? That's fair.
You
know what? I take back everything I ever said about Yamcha.
It was awkward, but it was pretty funny at the same time because me and him kind of laughed it off. Because I think as a kid, I kind of developed kind of like the humor that I have now, you know? Mm-hmm. To where I kind of like it when, well, not like it, but like I find the humor and awkwardness. Mm-hmm. I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, you're not my dad.
How
and
old
he just starts chuckling. I think this was when I was like, I don't know, 10. And I was like looking at a toy in the toy section. And I was like, hey dad. And I brought the toy to this guy that wasn't my dad. I was like, can I get this? And I just stared at him.
And then he says, I don't know, can you?
Just starts chuckling. I'm like, you're not my dad.
I can if you want me to be. Sir, what does that mean? Do I need to call an adult?
I don't remember much after that. I think I just put the toy down and spent the next 10 minutes looking for my dad.
There's nothing scarier being a little kid than getting lost and separated in a store from your parent.
Like, I was actually the opposite. I was a little shit. I ran from my parents in the store.
All right, then I guess our experiences are not universal.
I think the only time, because for some reason I mistook going to like Target or Walmart was like playtime. But I didn't like cause destruction at all. I just liked running around and exploring and looking at stuff.
Cause destruction.
Yeah, I didn't want to ransack like the freezer section.
Don't take Goku to a grocery store.
But yeah, no, it was just my it was just the only time I ever got a chance to get out of the house as a kid. That was not in the neighborhood.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. Until I discovered video games where you stuck your head up straight playing those demos.
Oh my god.
Now they always knew where to find me.
Yeah,
The only game I remember playing was Mario Sunshine, the one with the water gun.
Yep.
Yeah, and that one Alien game where you kind of go around terrorizing the place.
Destroy All Humans?
Yeah. Those are the only 2 games I remember playing.
You never played a Dragon Ball game, though.
No, I didn't. Never.
That would have been the perfect time. Like, at that stage, Destroy All Humans on PlayStation 2.
It never happened.
Never happened.
It wasn't there.
It's not meant to be, I suppose. At this point in the story, Giran approaches the restaurant as thunder crackles, and I was wearing a big old trench coat. Which is funny, because this means that he's been naked the entire time, otherwise. And he goes up to the bar, and he says, "Hey, got milk?" And it reminded me, there's this scene that always stood out to me from the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, where they're pretending to be mean to get into a bad guy bar, kind of like the Salty Spittoon from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mario reminds Luigi, "Now remember, Luigi, you gotta act tough." And Luigi walks up to the bar, slams his fist down, and says, "I'll have a milk." So
My God. He's making his bones stronger.
Oh god, no. Giran gets his milk, and some Orin Temple fucks mock him for it. And the only thing I could think of was, what idiots. This guy's made it to the finals. He could kick all your punk asses. Another one comes in and trips over his tail and just starts mocking him? Like, what is the Orin Temple's damage? Why do they only produce assholes? Like, everyone that we've seen from this place, including Krillin when we started, they've just been the biggest jackasses.
Who's their master? Who's teaching these monks? Where's the head monk?
He was mentioned in the flashback with Krillin, and he's like, "Oh, I understand my master keeps you around now. You're a good punching bag." What the fuck, guys? They mentioned that he must have had easy fights during the preliminaries, but why are you trying to antagonize him? Like, he's a giant monster man. With a single swing of his tail, Giran lays them all out and demands another glass of milk be poured. And as it's filling up, he just starts beating the shit out of these guys. Like, they're thrown into tables or through walls. And everyone freaks out about how strong he is. And Goku is super jazzed about it. He's like, "I know! I get to fight him!" He's about to stomp out one of the monks, and Yamcha stands in the way and says that they've had enough. Which upsets Giran enough to make him break out in a rash, he says. Which is just a ploy to get a cheap shot on Yamcha, but it doesn't work. Goku's upset because he's supposed to be the one fighting in the match right now. But he's tossed aside, so Yamcha can job. Like, you gotta show how strong Giran is, so when he fights Goku, you can see how strong Goku is. He kicks Giran, and it doesn't do anything, and in fact, it kind of looks like it hurts Yamcha more than anything. Like, he holds onto his foot, like, "Oh man, he's so fucking tough." And Jackie Chun is able to talk him down, reminding him that if he fights outside of the tournament, he doesn't get his prize money because he gets kicked out. Which works, but what does a monster use his money for? He's a monster. If he wants something, he can just take it.
I don't know. There's just something about having cash that makes you feel more like a bad guy, I guess.
he wants nice suits.
Like, what if he wins and he knows he's fucking over Nan over there, you know?
Oh, he's just doing it to be a dick.
Yeah, it's like, I know you need this money, so I'm gonna take it.
So I'm gonna eat it. He eats money. The rain clears and the match is starting up again, but Goku is seemingly nowhere to be found. All the other fighters are running around looking for him, and if he doesn't show up, he'll have to forfeit the match. And then they find Goku sleeping in the sun like he's a cat.
I didn't know if this was like a joke, if he just literally just took a nap, or Giran literally gave him like sleeping food. So
like he tried to
he's
poison him or
disqualified.
something.
Yeah, so he's disqualified from the fight. No, he was literally just asleep. And
Well,
this is when I really like the announcer too, because he wasn't like a prick about him being late. He's like, Goku, we gotta go. You gotta fight. Come on. And so he brings Goku to the stage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The announcer is a good guy because all he wants is to entertain.
Yeah.
And he needs the show to go on. He doesn't want to call a match for like a distraction, or not a distraction. He doesn't want to call the match for a disqualification. He wants to put on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I like him. Good old Goku. He just can't lie for anything. He just gets up on stage and he straight up tells the audience that he was just taking a nap. And there's this big pause as it hits him, and they all fall over at once again. But just as quickly, they get back up and they start cheering as the match actually starts. This is also the first time that we see Goku doing his stretch with his legs, where he puts his weight on one leg while kicking out the other, and then he bounces to the other one, and he kind of goes back and forth between them. That's like his signature stretch before a fight. And I know it's a weird thing to pick up on for me, but like, I go, oh yeah, there it is. And I wonder how many times I'll see it throughout this series. And yes, you asked me if I saw it, and there was a bear man in the crowd.
It was guys, it was very subtle. It was because they went down the line because they all had remarks. It was like Oolong, it was Bulma, I believe. They all said something, right?
Oolong, Bulma, Puar, they all say like, oh, this guy looks big, or this guy looks tough, or whatever. And then, yes.
It's just a bear. He also chimed in.
And he says, look at that itty bitty guy warm up. He's not even scared.
It was so dumb. The bear didn't have to chime in, but it did. And
I especially like that anytime I get one of these dumb background character interactions, I write it phonetically. So I didn't write, look at that itty bitty guy. I wrote, look at DAT, dat, IDDY, itty, BIDDY, biddy. Look at that itty bitty guy. I love this bear.
It was like the first time I've seen that bear. And he just chimes in just like that.
Yeah, it is exactly like the, I can't believe I got screwed by a pig.
I think that still made me laugh the hardest, if I can recall.
Oh, I think it made me laugh more, but this one took me just as off guard.
Yeah.
The match actually starts up with Giran getting in a cheap shot, pretending that he has a secret in his hand, and he goads Goku to take a peek before hitting him with his tail. And he just gets smoked into the wall, like a brick falls on his head. But then he jumps back up like it was no big deal a short while later. And he says, I don't know what you were going to show me, but I don't even want to see it now. He's easily tricked, he's too innocent. Goku...
I thought he was actually going to pick up the brick and start chucking at him. But I don't know if that would be considered like a weapon or a tool outside of the arena, because it is the arena.
It is the arena. I don't think Goku would find that very honorable.
Nah. I feel like it's something a kid in Rage would do, though.
True.
In the spur of the moment. Yeah.
True. Goku goes on the offensive, and he starts wailing on Giran, and he grabs him by the tail, and he does like a Mario throw and sends him flying out of the ring. And it looks like he's going to win right away, but Giran can fly, so he just flies back into the ring. And because no part of him hit the ground, it doesn't count as a ring out.
Nope.
And they get back into the fight, and Giran shoots out a beam from his mouth that surrounds and constricts Goku, and it's called Giran's Merry-Go-Round Gum.
I don't know if it was actual like chewing gum, or if it was like some kind of nature's natural weapons, you know?
I think it's supposed to be like his species can spit up this gunk or something.
And then turns solid.
Yeah. At least that's what I get from it, because he tries to explain later that it's all natural or whatever. And if it was gum, that would have to be something that he brought in. But we'll see what I have for my notes there.
Okay.
He just starts wailing on him, and he threatens to lob Goku out because he's a dirty cheater. And he just herks Goku. He just launches him deep into the city. Like, he is going flying. I want to say the announcer says something along the lines of, hope he sends us a postcard because he's going into the next town over. Shockingly, though, Goku remembers the flying Nimbus before I did.
Really? I instantly thought about it. Because there's nothing he could have done.
No?
He's got no stick. He's got nothing to help him,
But yeah, it saves him from hitting the ground. And when he comes back, Giran causes a big stink. He's like, oh, Goku cheated. He used an outside tool. And Goku tries to say that it was no different than Giran's gum. But yes, he does claim that it was from inside his body, so it's legal. He didn't break any rules. The legalese of the tournament was not something that I thought that I would find so interesting.
What if, what's that guy's name? Bacterian?
Bacterian, yes.
What if he had a black Nimbus?
A black Nimbus.
You can only ride it if you're the dirtiest bastard.
Well, I want to say that because there's more than one Nimbus.
Oh, really?
That we will come to find out. And
Okay.
I want to say that you have to be pure-hearted or pure evil to ride one. I don't quite remember the rules, but yes, I am, like, that visual did pop up in my head.
Pure evil. Can't think of anyone like that at the moment, to be honest.
You'll meet someone. The decision holds that the cloud was legal in this one instance, and Giran's like, you know what? Fair. I'll just beat the living shit out of him while he's still tied up. Thanks. And Goku manages to dodge, and it's revealed that his tail has grown back. Did you expect that the tail was going to come back?
No, I thought it was going to be gone for good until like Dragon Ball Z or something.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite part because when the tail came back, Goku was like, "Oh shit! Oh, my tail's back!" And everyone else was like, "Oh shit! The tail's back!"
Yeah, nobody is happy about this except for Goku.
And Oolong is like, "Anybody want to take a night stroll?"
A moonlight stroll?
Yeah.
A moonlight stroll?
Stroll. And I thought it was great because everyone knew the significance of the tail.
Mm-hmm. So Goku gets out of this Giran's grasp, and after a lot of clenching and yelling, Goku manages to flex out of the gum, which is supposed to be impossible.
That flex scene was getting bizarre the longer he took to break it. But I like the camera angles they took because it was very smooth. They were doing like some panel shots and then some pivot shots from up and down. They even zoom up on him and they like shaked it too to show that he was struggling. But
also, that's kind of like it's so cool to me, at least, to see these early Dragon Ball Z inspired kind of moments. Because in Dragon Ball Z, you have a lot of charging and you have a lot of screaming and yelling, the standard stuff people grow to expect. And so this is kind of like the prototype form of it.
Okay.
Of him charging up and like breaking free of something or powering up to do something else. And I thought it was really cool to see like, oh, baby's first charge.
So as Goku struggles to like break this thing, it actually like snaps.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest right now, I was a little bit disappointed with this fight in the end, but we'll get to that in a second.
But I think that him busting out was like a cool show of strength, and it's like,
oh yeah, it was a really cool show of strength. But I wanted to see that alligator with wings just get knocked out.
I see, yes.
Yeah.
As he rips out of these things and he's standing real cool, real fierce, mystical adventure kicks in, and you see Goku
so
working
good.
out his tail. Like he's feeling that he's much stronger with his tail. And it seems stronger than before. Like, he's able to balance on it, and he's springing off of it like a kangaroo as he kicks over an entire wall. Like, oh yeah, Goku's back to full form.
And after the wall got destroyed in front of Gear, and he surrenders with like the white surrender flag.
Yeah, he just gives up. He's like, oh, it's impossible to break my gum. Breaks the gum. Shows that you just kick over this wall and destroy it.
Oh man.
Yeah, he fucks off. Yeah, I know it sucks. You wanted to see him get his ass whooped, but
back to that one scene where with the bar with Girid. Do you remember when Yamcha stops him from stomping on one of the monks?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, I'm getting a rash."
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping he would throw the coat off and just show like a deformed rash that's like infecting him.
Ew. Why would you want that?
Because the reason why is because I was like, oh, if you're gonna surprise me, just do it already.
His rash is actually like he's, what's it called when cells divide and they make a perfect copy. That's him forming another copy, and that's how he's gonna cheat. You know, he's gonna make a second version of himself to fight in the tournament. Nah, he's just a liar. With this fight over, Goku is moving up to the semifinals as well, and that's where we leave off the episode, which moves us into the final one this week. Episode 24, Krillin's Frantic Attack. And they start up this episode with a reminder of what the semifinals are shaping up to be. Krillin versus Jackie Chun, and Goku versus Nam. Goku's friends are still panicking about Goku potentially going ape, but nobody else knows about that. And Krillin is confused as to why Goku has a tail coming out of his back. But Goku doesn't seem to understand why he's confused. He's just like, well, duh, it would look silly coming out of anywhere else.
I'm just glad that Goku's tail is back.
I like Goku with his tail. I think a lot of fun stuff happens.
Yeah, he like pogo sticks of his tail. Mm-hmm. He does he swings around with it. And plus he's stronger now too.
It's another appendage for him.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what Launch's reaction's gonna be. Seeing Goku
right.
with a tail.
She hasn't seen that.
No.
The announcer interviews the boys for a bit, and we learn that Krillin is 13? I don't believe that at all.
13?
Yeah, he says he's 13.
I don't know. I could kind of see it because I know how big Goku gets as he gets bigger, but Krillin kind of stays the same size if he does, right?
Yeah, he gets a little taller, but...
He gets a little taller? Okay.
Krillin is a very small boy.
Yeah.
Goku doesn't know what a mic is. No, we gotta talk more about Krillin's age. He's so small! He's 13? No! I don't believe that for a second.
So you're telling me Master Roshi had a 13-year-old boy do all that for training?
Yeah, right?
I mean, it paid off in the end.
I just don't believe that.
Yeah, I think 13 is maybe a little bit too old. 11? 11? Because I think 11 is when, I wouldn't expect a kid to have the same kind of remarks as Krillin below the age of, 9.
Yeah. Goku
11 or 12. He brought porn mags to the hermit.
And one gay porn mag.
What was the magazine called again?
Homo.
Oh, too good.
Goku has to think, and he counts on his fingers, and we find out that Goku is 12, which Krillin is shocked to find out. I'm also shocked to find out Goku is not 12. Goku thought that he was older than Krillin, but Launch taught him how to count past 10. Great work, Launch. Bulma thought he was older than that too, but that's also nuts. Personally, I see the boys as being single digits still.
I can definitely see that too because of their size and how they behave.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, maybe some kids they know a little too much. I remember because back in elementary school, I remember I was taking a piss, right? at the urinal, just
As one does.
second, third grade me. I think that's what I was the age, and I was taking a piss. I was washing my hands. One of my buddies, one of my buddies at the time was like, "Hey," I'm like, "What's up? You masturbate?"
as we talk about with our buddies,
and me being like, a kid, I was like, "What the hell is that?"
And then you turned to him after you had just taken a piss, with your pants around your ankles while holding your shirt up, because that's how you piss when you're that old. You're like, "Oh, hell yeah."
I don't remember what happened after that, but I remember that conversation because I never felt so stupid that as a kid before, Like, sure, all my mistakes as a kid growing up, they taught me and stuff, but like this was like, oh, you don't know what this word mean, man? This is like a first grade level vocabulary.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Your experiences are not universal.
I don't even remember.
Listen,
yeah,
dude.
I don't remember what happened after that day. I just didn't care. I couldn't search it up because I had no internet. Because we didn't have internet in the house until I was in middle school. Which was by the time of 2012, 2000, around there, 2000,
Jesus
2011.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, my dad just did not care about TV or internet for me or anyone. So we just lived.
Listen, I just wanted to point this out before I forgot.
No, I lied.
First or second grade, you said?
No, yes. Actually, I lied. We did have internet. I think it was by the time it was either third grade or fourth grade. Because I used to play a game called Toontown. And you couldn't have played it without internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes.
I guess I just forgot the word and didn't care after.
So that was first and second grade for you? Let me tell you this. When I was in first and second grade, I still thought girls peed out of their butts. All right?
Oh, yeah.
No, that was not how it went for me at all.
Really? Well, at least you had a clue. I was like Goku. I didn't understand what...
Listen, I didn't understand that things were different. I was just like, well, girls sit down to pee, so what do I do when I sit down at the toilet? I gotta take a shit, so it's gotta come out of the butt, right?
I didn't know that. I thought girls had pee-pees as well when I was a kid.
Good old pee-pees.
I thought everyone was the same.
Well, you were just more forward-thinking, Anyone can have a pee-pee. What are we talking about again? Dragon Ball.
How did we get to this point?
Krillin says Goku is weird for having a tail, but Goku rubs his bald head and says they're both strange in their own ways. He's weird. He's bald. In order to prove that his tail is real, Goku bends over and moons the audience. They all get a good laugh in, though.
Yeah, it was to show the tail, It was like, you can't just have him go home wondering a kid just grew a tail out of nowhere.
No, you see, that's not getting a face full of Goku ass. That's the highlight of the tournament, they'll say. Moving past that, they talk about how they're students of Master Roshi, and the announcer is shocked because he knows that Roshi is so old, it's a miracle he's even still alive. And while that's pretty funny, for some reason, unknown, Jackie Chun falls over. He's shocked to hear that or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's just surprised Master Roshi's still alive.
Yeah, it's got to be that. There's no other explanation. Yamcha confronts Jackie Chun with all this cockamamie schemes that he's got, that he's really Roshi. And of course, Jackie Chun denies it. After all, Master Roshi wears a turtle shell. And is Jackie Chun? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous, Yamcha. They call Jackie Chun to the stage, and he asks why they haven't interviewed him yet. The announcer claims that they just don't have the time, but he just swipes the mic and goes, "Hi, I'm Jackie!"
I, when the announcer said we didn't have the time, I legit checked how much of the video of the episode we had left.
How much time do they have?
It was enough for Master Roshi to do his next skit.
To start scatting and singing about how all the ladies love him and how studly he is and dancing. He puts on a whole routine. God, he's so fucking cool. Even Goku gets in on the dance. The whole sequence is just fantastic. And it gets zero reaction from the audience. It's like when you see a movie or whatever where they do this big sequence on stage and they finish their routine, they got their arms out, they're in the spotlight, they're panting, they laid themselves out bare for the world to see, and it's dead quiet, and you just hear someone in the back go, That's what it made me think of.
I don't think I've experienced something like that specifically, because whenever I go to the movies, sometimes it's either dead quiet or for some reason people just don't shut up.
Well, I mean more in the movie itself.
Oh, yeah.
Someone is on stage and they're doing all that and just no one cares. They're just like, well, thanks for the entertainment, Jackie Chun. Let's get this fight started. And the match begins, and Krillin takes off, unloading a flurry of attacks at Jackie. And you get a good, like, Chun-Li kick out of him, too, like, where he's doing the rapid kick.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackie mentions that he's got some power, and he palms a really hard punch. And it's just like, oh, okay, so Krillin's actually got some. And then he says, let's check your speed before moving on. And he moves so fast, and you don't even see it, before gently bopping Krillin in the head and sending him flying back into the wall. Like he's got this red mark and he's kind of bleeding. And he's like, I didn't even see it, what the fuck? They clash a few times, and Jackie compliments him, and Krillin's like, yeah, I was trained by the best. Roshi's a total Chad. After another back and forth, Krillin collapses and almost loses to the 10 count, but gets up just in time. The announcer pauses the match to ask just exactly what's going on, because they were moving so fast that nobody could see them. And they proceed to go in slow motion to recreate their movements, and Krillin's even playing along to do this.
Yeah. I just loved how the announcer was able to, like, be a big part in this, like,
the
scene as well. Yeah.
So first Jackie tried to kick Krillin, but Krillin saw it and tried to counter it with a punch to the face. But then Jackie spit at him, and while Krillin was busy dodging spit, he tried to give him a hard left hook. But Krillin blew his nose, his non-existent nose. And then they managed to play a game of rock, paper, scissors in that time. But it was only a distraction, and Jackie kicked him. And this is where they make the announcer carry them both back to their starting positions. And it's just, this whole sequence is gold. Krillin realizes that he can't beat Chun using conventional methods, and saw how he went gaga over Ran Fan, so he just lobs out some panties onto the floor. And like a dog chasing a tennis ball, Jackie just leaps for them immediately. But for his troubles, he's kicked in the face. And he's just sent hurtling through the sky and says, kids these days, you can't trust them.
I did not think this was going to happen. This was a plot twist for me.
This move that Krillin busted out, or this preceding thing coming up?
Busting that move. And plus, I was wondering whose panties those were. Where did he get them?
I'm
Are
gonna
they
guess
the super soft one?
I'm gonna guess
There's no way.
it's launches, actually.
I want to say that too.
Like that's the
You
only
telling
place
me
I
the
can
man
think.
was you telling me he was hanging on to that for the whole trip?
Krillin, what are you doing with those?
Honestly, if he's in the same group and he just puts it on his head, I don't think anyone would question it.
Nope. Nope, I wouldn't. As Jackie flies out of the ring, he turns around and he goes like, well, I wasn't hoping to bust this out. And he just starts charging up a Kamehameha mid-fall. And when he releases it, it rockets him through the sky where he lands back into the ring. And I'm just like watching this happen and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah! Like, he's like, well, all right, come in. And I'm just like, oh yeah!
I thought he was about to blow that whole arena away with the crowd, with everyone.
Well, he's clearly more composed than someone like, say, Master Roshi. Because, Master Roshi, he was just wild with his Kamehameha, and it destroyed a mountain. So he was using a lot less energy than, say, someone like him. And he shot it at an angle in order to propel himself. This Jackie Chun guy is real smart. Not like Master Roshi. Krillin's freaking out by this point, because only Master Roshi and Goku are supposed to know the Kamehameha wave, and he doesn't think that he can compete with that kind of skill. And he just starts getting kind of upset. Like, he's getting wild and unrefined, and Krillin rushes Jackie Chun and headbutts a pillar, causing it to crumble. Like, it leaves with a big old red mark on his face, like, he hit it with his face.
And then Jackie says something along the lines of, like, using your head.
You're using your head in more than one way, I see. Krillin attacks again, but Jackie Chun moves so quickly it leaves an after image, tricking Krillin long enough for him to land a double neck chop from behind. And it just lays him out. And they start counting up to 10 again, but then Jackie just leaves. Like, he leaves through the stairs, like, on the backside before the counting is over. And he knows that he's not getting up before the timer's done, but should he be disqualified for leaving the ring before the match was called?
I think so, yeah.
You think so?
I think so.
Like, he was out. And I just, even if the rule was that if the counting is going on and you leave and the counting finishes, you still win. But if he gets up, you lose. I wouldn't risk that.
Look, I'm saying this is because I was playing Pocket Circuit, and I ran that kid over. I lapped him in the first lap, destroyed his Pocket Circuit, and I boosted. Like a mofo and launched myself towards the store. And I still was the one that considered I lost.
Yep.
I was on the last lap right before the finish line.
Yakuza 0 is quite the game.
Great game, guys. I spent at least 5 hours playing Pocket Circuit last night.
And the best part about being on Discord is every once in a while I can tell when you're doing homework or whatever, because it'll say like you're playing Google Chrome, or I can tell when you're playing Yakuza 0, or
That's so funny. Hey,
you ready for this, guys? I caught him playing Wizard 101.
Oh yeah, that. I'm actually grinding on that because it's free for the week until the 20th right now, guys. And some of my buddies and my brother are trying to grind the hell out of this game right now. I don't know why, but we are.
Discord is a gift, and I don't think I have it set up to show what I'm doing, but if it did, I use it primarily on the laptop where I watch all the episodes, so it would just say, Google Chrome or the VLC media player.
Did you tell your significant other? It's like, hey, get a load of this guy playing Wizard 101.
No, I did not mention that. I was just like, yes, Wizard 101. I won't. Yeah. I was considering screenshotting it and sending you the screenshot, but I was like, nah, you're probably busy doing something important.
No, honestly, you kind of found me out on. You already know what I'm doing. If I'm on Google Chrome, it's most likely something important. Because if I'm not, I'm playing something.
Yep. I can check in. You're playing Tekken. back in Dragon Ball world, Jackie Chun is going to the finals. Yes, Jackie Chun is going to the finals. And they're all hanging out in the back room where people are telling Krillin that he did a really good job. And this is where Yamcha, once again, makes a fool out of himself by trying to out Jackie Chun as Master Roshi, which he clearly is not. Like, he tries pulling on his hair, but it doesn't come off. And Goku tries smelling him, but he smells like oranges. And Yamcha needs to get it through his head. Jackie Chun is not Master Roshi. Like, Goku's nose doesn't lie. Smells like oranges, not like turtle and sweat.
He was able to smell turtle and sweat off of a rock.
He was. That's how you know that Goku's nose is good. The episode ends with Goku and Nam being called for their fight, leaving this to be the last match before the finals. And I think that this is an exciting place to leave off this set. It had a lot of good action in these 4 episodes while still keeping all the comedy that I really like. There's good character work and motivations for pretty much everyone here. I mean, Ranfan and Giran doesn't really get anything, but everyone else, they're, still the standard level of Dragon Ball quality that I come to expect. I'm really excited to see it end again. How did you feel about the tournament so far?
I thought it was pretty fun. Out of all the fights, though, I think the one that was probably the most action-packed was Krillin.
We get to see him fight 2 fights this time around.
Yeah, it was Krillin. And both of those fights had a lot of action in it. Nam was pretty cool. But I felt like if Ranfan just didn't do the things that she did, the fight would have been interesting. But then again, it did change the pace up.
Yeah,
it really got Jackie.
He got him
really
going.
got Jackie going. Goku's fight with Giran was cool, but I felt like I think my only favorite part really was when he just got his tail back.
Yeah, and you're right in that it ends kind of abruptly and in a way that I don't think is very exciting. I still think that you could have had Goku fight Giran, especially when Mystic Adventure starts kicking in and you're like, oh yeah, here we go. This is his fight song.
Yeah.
Nope, he just gave up. That's what.
But
whatever.
I did like these fight scenes. I think I liked watching Karen more, and I liked watching Nam, and I like watching Jackie running onto the stage. Even though I caught it in the corner of my eye, like in my peripheral vision.
Yeah, I think when I was going into this set of episodes, I think I might have been mixing my memories of this Nam fight with the next Nam fight. And it made like some super fight in my brain. And I was like, oh, fucking yeah. Fucking Nam. So I'm excited to see the next set of episodes because I know that there's a good Nam fight in there too. I guess I wanted to know, did it go the way that you were expecting it to? Like by this point last week, were you expecting the current lineup to be Krillin versus someone new and Goku versus someone new?
Well, I didn't think Krillin would get tortured right off the bat.
But yes, Krillin ends up losing. Did you think that Krillin was going to make it to this stage before losing?
I knew he was going to lose eventually, but I think he got pretty far, which is good on him. Because I really do support Krillin,
I personally wish that Yamcha would have gotten further, but luck of the draw, he had to go up against Jackie Chun. Like I said, I think if he went up against literally anyone else, aside from like maybe Goku, I think that he probably could have gone toe-to-toe with Krillin. I think he's got the knowledge to kind of space him out. But no, Yamcha jobs. How do you feel that the tournament is going to end now? Now that you've got all the players on stage, how is it going to end?
Either Nam just finds a way to beat Goku, or Goku wins and gives Nam the money.
Okay, so you think that either Nam's going to win it or Goku's going to win it in the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Nam's got the best reason and motivation to win, and I think Goku's got the heart. But the big challenge at the end will have to be going up against Jackie Chun. So
yeah, I just can't really figure out how they're gonna win.
well, like you said, if Goku's gonna win, it's because he's got the heart, and he'll go up against Jackie Chun, and it'll just be a war of attrition, and he'll come out on top. Or Nam will get to the final fight with Jackie Chun, and Jackie Chun already knows the score. He knows that Nam's people are suffering, and he's doing it for a noble cause. He'd reasonably throw the fight, I think. Like, he'd step down, right? Who can say?
I would say that. He knows what's going on.
Who can say until we watch it? The next 4 episodes that we're going to be watching is 25 through 28.
Yeah.
Which is Danger from Above and going through The Final Blow. So do you have any final thoughts before we close out here?
It's really hard to predict who's going to win. I really like this set as well. Just like... it's just that bear, okay? I really like that bear.
This might be my favorite set of episodes, solely because of the bear. That little itty bitty guy.
Look at him.
He's warming up like it ain't no thing.
I wonder where Roshi's been.
Yeah, I wonder where Roshi's been this whole time. Maybe he'll show up in this last set of episodes. We'll see. Once again, I'd like to remind the audience that we'll be taking a week off for the holidays. So enjoy time with your family and friends. Stay safe and warm this year. And we'll be back before New Year's with more Goku or Go Home.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
So, Phoup, about that flap, it's inside? Like, doesn't that get in the way when you're trying to, Yeah.
No, not when... If I just put it around my neck, I think it usually helps.
Okay.